Prime Minister Mark Carney commenting for the first time on the strikes, calling for de-escalation to the fighting and a diplomatic solution. In a post online, the Prime Minister saying Iran's nuclear program is a grave threat to international security, and Canada has been consistently clear that Iran can never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon. While the U.S. military action taken last night was designed to alleviate that threat, the situation in the Middle East remains highly volatile. Stability in the region is a priority. And Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand also commenting, saying in part, Canadians in the region are reminded to register with Global Affairs Canada in order to receive country-specific information, including available travel options. The Prime Minister and I are being regularly briefed on new developments and are ensuring that all necessary resources are available in support of Canada's work to protect our citizens. And let's bring in Eric Ham. He's our CTV U.S. political analyst. Eric, thanks as always for joining us.
It's good to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Your thoughts on what we heard just now?
Well, I thought it was very interesting. We saw the Pentagon secretary say that after the United States strategic bombing, that the United States does not want war. And I think what we're seeing here is a reiteration from the Pentagon chief that the United States does still want to see if they can get Iran back to the negotiating table, that these moves were very strategic. But again, what we have seen in terms of how Iran has reacted, clearly they could either attempt to escalate or, as Donald Trump says, they could actually come back to the negotiating table. And right now what we're seeing here is there is outrage, but there has not been at least a move based in terms of what we're seeing from Iran that they are prepared to actually retaliate.
And was this news conference directed at Iran as opposed to everybody else who was listening? This was sending a message to Iran?
It was. Once again, I think the president wants to see if he can get Iran back to the negotiating table. And we have seen Donald Trump, even with his mixed signals in terms of his language, speaking in both a carrot stick approach. And so now we see, again, this was a stick with these precision strikes, if in fact that's what they were. We're still waiting for verification. But also, again, now there's the carrot that the United States wants to actually have an open negotiations with Iran. And now the ball is in Iran's court.
And Higgs has said they've sent messages, both public and private, to Iran. So it sounds like there may be some talks going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's right. And we know that there have been negotiations taking place. We know that the U.S. envoy, Steve Witkoff, has been in constant negotiations with the Iranian foreign minister. And we know also Europe, many European nations have also been engaged in discussions. But nevertheless, what we're seeing here is even as these talks are continuing to take place, the conflict continues to still escalate, not de-escalate like the president wants to see happen.
And can Iran, even if it wants to come to the table, can it come to the table without some kind of a response to this attack?
That's a really good question. And I do believe that Iran may feel the need to actually face that there may be some type of strike, not something that will actually push the president to respond with greater force, but at least for Iran to actually show that they are engaged and that they will not be pushed around, they will not be bullied, but they will do so they will do so, but then after, I think, attempt to try to de-escalate. Of course, only time will tell.
Okay, Eric, thank you as always. We appreciate your insight.
You bet. Thank you.